Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Nahmaduhu wa nasalli ala rasulihil kareem. We are studying Murakkab Idafi in detail. We know that Murakkab Idafi is also called Idafa, which means addition. One noun is added to another noun. And this addition could be that of possession, that one noun is possessed by another noun, or that this may simply be an attribution, that one noun is attributed to another noun. Now, mudaf in mudaf ilayh stands out from a distance because it does not take al and it does not take tanween either. However, that applies only to singular nouns and to some jama mukassar and jama muannas salim. What about duals and jama muzakkar salim, because these nouns do not have tanween and their i'rab is shown in a different way. Let us look at our example. The boy's book. We said kitabul waladi. The boy's book. We translate it as kitabul waladi. Mudaf mudaf ilayh, very simple to work out, no problem at all. What happens when boy has two books rather than one book? Because boy can have two books, and we want to say the boy's two books, or the two books of the boy, as we say in Arabic. So two books of the boy. So boy, we know it's waladun. Our vocabulary, and books, two books. From kitabun it becomes kitabani, it becomes kitabani. Kitabani. So this kitabani is in rafa. So in nasab and jar it's going to be, let's write down here, kitabani, kitabaini, and jar is also kitabaini. Kitabaini. So let us try to translate this. The two books of the boy. We can translate up whatever we know up till now. We can say, okay, let's take this rafa form of it. So our tendency will be to say kitabani and then al-waladi. Al-waladi. So this will become kitabanil waladi. Kitabanil waladi. But this is wrong. This is not how we write, and this is not how we pronounce this. We know that we said that mudaf does not take tanween and it does not take al either. Other way of saying that is that the i'rab of mudaf is light, it's not heavy. For example, when we from kitabun, when we remove tanween, it becomes light, it becomes kitabu. It's not as heavy as it is with tanween. So the i'rab of mudaf is light, and it doesn't take al either. That will also give kind of heaviness to the noun. So let us assume mudaf to be something very delicate, that it does not it doesn't have the capacity to carry heavy stuff. So its mudaf will have to be light. So it's easy to lighten the i'rab when it is tanween. We can remove tanween, dhamma, fataha or kasra and make a single dhamma, single fatah and single kasra. What about then dual nouns? How we lighten their i'rab, how we make them less heavy? So what happens is that we drop noon. This noon is dropped. This noon is called noon i'rabi. So noon i'rabi is dropped. Noon i'rabi. So when we drop noon i'rabi, what we are left with is kitab al waladi. So our construction will be kitab al waladi, the boy's 2 books. So how we differentiate this from, for example, if mudaf is used in some places in nasab, so that will be singular kitab al waladi. So how we differentiate this from this? So what we can do is we can prolong it a little bit, not a lot. We can say in pronunciation, when we vocalize this, we can say kitab al waladi, not kitab al waladi, but kitab al waladi, rather than saying kitab al waladi. So in sound, we can make some differentiation of this from this, but in writing it becomes clear. This means 2 books of the boy. This still means 1 book of the boy. So kitab al waladi. What about this nasab and jar constructions? So how do we use them as mudaf? So if we use nasab or jar, we will normally write kitab baynil waladi. So but that is wrong because noon has to be dropped. So this will become kitabay al waladi. Kitabay al waladi. So kitabayl waladi is not only a little hard on the tongue, it's not easy on ears either. And on top of that, 2 sukoons are not allowed together in Arabic. So one has to be changed, and the principle is that when we combine this with this, this is combined with the next alphabet by giving a kasra. So we give this kasra, so it becomes kitabayil waladi. So kitabayil waladi, the boy's 2 books. For example, if we say in the 2 books of the boy, so we can add fi before this. Fi harf jar. Fi is harf jar. So fi kitabayil waladi, in the 2 books of the boy, whatever is there in the 2 books of the boy. And because we have used harf jar, this construction, this word here now is in jar. So it's not in nasab, it is in jar. So fi kitabayil waladi, in the 2 books of the boy. So that's how we use nasab and jar. If we have to use this in jar, in a nasab form, we can add, for example, inna here, and we know that inna is particle of emphasis, and when we add inna in a sentence or in a construction, the next noun changes its i'rab and goes in the state of nasab. So if we say inna kitabayil waladi, of course the boy's 2 books, then in this case this is kitabayi is now in nasab, not in jar. So the context will tell us whether this is in jar or in nasab. So that is dual. The similar rule applies to plural as well. For example, we say the Muslims of the town. That's our sentence. Of the town. So our vocabulary here is town, qaryatun, and Muslims is plural of Muslim. So Muslimun, and that will be Muslimuna. So Muslimuna will be in Rafa. Muslimuna and Muslimina, both in nasab and jar. Muslimina, Muslimina. So Muslimuna, Muslimina, Muslimina. So how do we say the Muslims of the town? So mudaf is Muslims here, and town kind of owns the Muslims, or there's an attribution to the town. So we will bring Muslimuna first here. The first word of idafa, Muslimuna. Muslimuna. And then Qaryatun, al-Qaryatu. If we give al to it, al-Qaryatu. So when we make this murakkab idafi, this has to go in jar, mudaf ilayh. So that will become qaryati, and we have to drop noon. So noon goes. So that becomes Muslimul. This Hamzatul Wasl, that marker goes as well. So Muslimul Qaryati. Now although there are 2 sakin here as well, but there is no problem with the pronunciation. It's fairly smooth. Muslimul Qaryati. And in this case, it doesn't matter whether we have this koon here or not. It may be written, it may not be written. So Muslimul Qaryati, the Muslims of the town. And we have got the similar problem here, how we differentiate this from singular. Muslimul, the Muslim of the town. Muslimul Qaryati. And again, there is a subtle difference in the sound. Here we say Muslimul Qaryati, here we can say Muslimul Qaryati, but not Muslimul Qaryati. We don't pronounce it that way. So Muslimul Qaryati, the Muslims of the town. And in Nasab and Jar, similarly, this will become Muslimina From muslimuna it will become muslimina. Muslimina. Al-Kariya. Al-Kariyatu. That's without making it murakkab idafi. So for example, we want to say for the Muslims of the town, for, and we can use harf jar lam, and we can write la muslimi, la muslimi Kariya Kariyati. If we give sukoon here, la muslimil, here it will be actually, in this case it will not be fatha, it will be kasra. Li muslimil kariyati, for the Muslims of the town. In this case we do not have to make this mutaharrik. Again, it's easy to pronounce, li muslimil kariyati. So it doesn't matter then whether the sukoon is there or not. It doesn't have to be made visible. So li muslimil kariyati, for the Muslims of the town. So this construction murakkab idafi, this word here is in jar because of this harf jar. This may very well be in nasab, and that will be if we remove this, and similarly add inna. So inna muslimil kariyati, of course the Muslims of the town, whatever about them, will be the khabar. So inna is particle of emphasis, and when it is added as a prefix to a noun, that noun takes nasab. It does not remain in rafa, and it can't be in jar either. So inna muslimil kariyati, of course the Muslims of the town. Now in the last video I did a spelling mistake when I wrote this is a new car. This is a new car. So I ended up writing like this, hazihi, hazihi sayyaratun jadidatun. When we write in ordinary Arabic, for example in a magazine or in a newspaper, perhaps this may be okay, but specifically in Quran and in formal Arabic, it's not written like this. Clearly this is not a spelling, it's only a spelling mistake. It's not a mistake of i'rab or mistake of nahw. So it's written like this, hazihi, like that. So hazihi sayyaratun jadidatun, that's how it is written, not the way I wrote in the previous video. Subhanakallahumma wa bihamdika ashhadu an la ilaha illa anta astaghfiruka wa atubu ilaik.